Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Shyla. This is Shy-chology. I'm the shy, not the sigh, in the ecology. And I legit had therapy probably 3 hours ago. I did a phone therapy session with my therapist today. It was really good. I hadn't talked to her since I'd been camping, so about almost a month ago. So just with my work schedule and everything just getting really busy, I hadn't had a chance. And I definitely realized how much today I needed it. And we talked about a lot of things, but the big one that really stuck with me and we kind of focused a lot of energy on was trauma. And, we were just we were talking about drama, and we got cycled into the trauma, and it really just made me sit there and think, everybody can go through a really bad time in their life, and a lot of the problems when you've experienced trauma is that you kind of underplay it. You don't want to admit that you've had trauma. You don't want to, because there's always somebody else that's had something worse, right? Yeah, this bad thing happened to me, but it's fine. At least I wasn't murdered, or there's just, you constantly kind of just downplay it. And she sat there and talked with me today, and I was just yeah, I've just been still feeling really kind of depressed lately, da da da. And she's like, well, do you think it has to do with any of your trauma? I was like, I don't really have trauma. I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, Shy, so my mom was an addict, and I had a lot of bad childhood issues. There's just some bad things that happened when I was really young. And she brought that up, and she's like, it's okay to admit that you've gone through some really hard things. And I was just like, no, it's fine. And she's like, no, Shiloh, say it. Yes, I have experienced some trauma, and that's okay to still have feelings about it, And I was just talking to her. I was like, well, I don't really like sharing that kind of stuff. It makes me feel really uncomfortable. She was like, why? Is it, are you afraid of being judged? I was like, no. She's like, is it because when you share with somebody, you want to make sure you felt understood? And I said, yeah, actually. Because that's the hardest part with sharing with your friends, your family, or somebody that doesn't know about your situation, is when you share that with them, you're not so sure they're going to understand how that affected you, and they can't. They don't know. You don't know if they've been through that or not, but you want to feel understood. I have a lot of just anxiety tendencies. I get really freaked out if people don't call me or text me when they're home, and that's because I didn't take the phone call from my mom right the night before she died. She called us every single night when my parents split up. We lived with my dad, and she always called us to say goodnight. But the night before she died, I had strep throat, so I was really, really sick. And she called the house, and she was like, I saw my dad came into my room. I saw him standing on the room, and I pretended to be asleep because I was sick. And if my mom was high or whatever, she was messed up by drugs, I didn't really have the energy to talk to her if she was like that. I don't know if she was, but I just didn't want to deal with it. And then when I woke up the next morning, she had died. And that really messed with me. So, it's I appreciate it when my friends tell me they're home at the end of the night, or when my boyfriend texts me, even though he lives literally 7 minutes away from me. But when he texts me that he's home and that he's safe, it's so calming to me. It's so I can breathe. And that has to deal with the stuff that I've been through in my life. So what the whole moral of talking about this trauma stuff is that it's okay to tell yourself, if you've gone through something, it's okay, because she said to me, you know what, shit happened. She literally sent me, while we're on the phone, this email of inspirational quotes and stuff, and at the bottom she's like, I added one at the bottom because you know what, shit happens, because it does. Terrible things happen to good people, terrible things happen to bad people, terrible things happen to everybody. But it's okay to admit that whatever you had gone through is hard, and it changed you as a person. Feel free to tell that to yourself, because you are not don't feel afraid to accept that happened to you, because that's what made you who you are. And how you go about it from whenever you've really accepted that is your choice, and it's your way of owning the bad things that happened to you. But what about you guys? Tell me how you have moved past your own traumas. Like, what was that defining moment for you? I'd love to hear about it. Tell me down below. If you want to see more of my face and hear more mental health stuff, hit the like button, hit the little subscribe button, little bell, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!